Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Jason Wehrli with WCFab. Today we have our Stage 2 High Flow Bundle Kit for the 2010 to 2012 6.7 Cummins. We'll start with our 4-inch high flow intake kit, also available separately. We've got it combined here with our high flow intercooler pipes as well. The 4-inch intake kit starts with our fabricated aluminum air box, replacing the factory plastic air box. Sits right in the OEM location using the factory mounting hardware, mounting points, and rubber grommets. The air box has a nice removable lid for easy access and visibility of our high flow 4-inch air filter. On the passenger side of the air box, we've got our opening to the fender well, as well as an opening on the bottom of the air box for increased airflow to the air filter. Largest restriction on the factory air box assembly is getting air into the box to the filter. If you just use the hole opening on the fender, it restricts the flow that our air filter and intake pipe have to offer. Laser cut, CNC bent here in-house, TIG welded, very nice piece, designed in CAD and fits very well, clears all of the components within the area. No need to bend or relocate any components around the airbox. We use a dry, replaceable style filter with a water repellent outerwears cover. Really help prolong the life of that filter, keeping the pleats from getting clogged up with debris and extending the service intervals. It is a dry filter, as I mentioned, so you do not want to oil these filters. We don't recommend oiling filters with diesel applications, as the mass airflow sensors are very finicky and sensitive to oil and can cause drivability issues. So you can blow them out with compressed air a handful of times, but eventually they get dirty enough, they have to be replaced. And that 4-inch filter connects to our 4-inch, 14-gauge fabricated aluminum intake pipe. So this replaces your factory plastic neck-down pipe. We eliminate the internal resonator that comes in the factory intake pipe. This thing really wakes up the sound of the engine. You can hear your turbo a lot better. You get that turbo whistle. It really makes it sound like a good running turbocharged diesel. We've got the sensor ports for both intake sensors. We've spent a lot of time in development of our intake kits, both on the flow bench and on test vehicles, getting those mass airflow sensors properly located so that they do not throw service engine lights or cause drivability issues. So this is a complete bolt-on package. Everything you see here in our Stage 2 bundle can be bolted on, no tuning required, and no concern for service engine lights. Another thing I'll point out on our 4-inch intake, you'll see here is a small dent. We get a lot of questions about that dent in our intake pipes, and that is strategically placed there for clearance to the engine oil filter housing. That dent didn't happen in shipping. It wasn't an accident. We didn't send you a dented product. We strategically placed that dent just as large as necessary to clear that filter housing and not any bigger, because we do not want to impact the flow to that turbocharger any more than we have to. Last component you'll see on our 4-inch intake that makes this intake system emissions compliant is our CNC machined bung right down at the face of the turbocharger, which is connection for your CCV hose, which we supply, with 2 new hose clamps to reconnect your CCV system and keep everything working properly. Connection to the turbocharger by way of our made in the USA high quality silicone boots and stainless steel worm gear style clamps. We have to use a worm gear style clamp on our Cummins intakes because the space constraint we have between the turbocharger and the oil filter housing and the mandrel bend of the aluminum pipe. We've only got so much room between the bead rolls, the face of the turbo, and our bends. We have to use a little bit shorter than normal boot, which does not allow the normal width of a standard style T-bolt clamp that you would typically see used with a silicone boot. The worm gear hose clamps are about half the width, so we're able to shorten the length of that boot and get the fitment to be much nicer for installation and removal, and overall fit and finish, why we have to use that narrower clamp. One thing I will note about the clamp is they do have the internal stainless liner there, so that when you tighten it, you don't have to worry about the worm gear grooves digging into and tearing up that silicone boot. So moving on from our 4-inch intake system is the intercooler pipes. So starting with the hot side at your turbocharger outlet, we upgrade the factory 2 3/4 inch pipe to a 3-inch 14 gauge mandrel bent aluminum pipe, again with high quality silicone boots. Nice feature on our silicone boots on hot side plumbing is we have an internal wire reinforcement so that these boots cannot expand and tear open, which is what happens typically on the hot side as you're dealing with the hottest temperatures of the intercooling system at the turbocharger outlet before that air has entered the intercooler. Hot air combined with boost pressure is where you typically see your boot failures. So all of our hot side boots are aramid, high temperature lined with that wire reinforced center, which is why you'll notice the red liner versus the solid black liner. We opted to do a 3-inch intercooler pipe on our hot side. I know there's other companies out there that offer 3.5, but they are a complete bear to install. And we opted to do the 3-inch versus 3.5 for ease of installation and for the fact that you're entering into the intercooler, which is a 2 3/4 inch inlet, and you're getting neck down there anyways. So we opted to that little bit smaller in size, but still better than stock, but easier install. So moving through the intercooler system, at the intercooler outlet to the intake side of the engine, we upgrade the factory plastic 3-inch intercooler pipe, and here on this side we do upgrade to a full 3.5-inch version. So much larger than factory, massive increase in airflow and upgrade over the factory component, especially plastic versus our 14 gauge aluminum mandrel bent construction. No dents or anything like that impeding airflow through the pipe. And again, using our high quality 5-ply silicone boots, stainless steel T-bolt clamps. We've got an adapter boot here, which is adapting from that intercooler 3-inch to our nice 3.5-inch pipe. And the other good reason for going to 3.5 on the cold side is that's a perfect match to the intake horn on the driver's side of the engine. So we've got a 3.5-inch straight boot for connection from our intercooler pipe to the intake horn. So those are the details on all of the components included in the Stage 2 High Flow Bundle Kit. This kit is shown in our very popular WCFab Red, along with WCFab Gray, Gloss Black, and Gloss White are all in-stock colors if you're looking for a kit quickly to get in time for an event or last-minute shopping for someone. We have a handful of colors in stock ready to ship. If you'd like a custom color, you want to customize the underhood of your truck, something special, we've got hundreds of colors you can choose from with just a little bit longer lead time is all. What benefits can you receive from the installation of our High Flow Bundle Kit? First and foremost, you're going to gain a lot of reliability. You're upgrading a lot of plastic components on your truck that is now 12 to 14 years old. We see a lot of those plastic components starting to become very brittle and have issues, breaking down, cracking. So reliability is definitely one of the biggest upgrades in addition to the airflow improvements. Starting with the intake system, the factory airbox is a major bottleneck. So the upgrade of the airbox with the larger air filter and smooth flowing intake pipe is a huge increase when coupled with performance tuning. And then the intercooler pipes, having those large diameter pipes helps your engine breathe better and work more efficiently, not having to push that air through those small diameter pipes. Again, when coupled with performance tuning, upgraded turbochargers, having those larger intercooler pipes helps increase engine longevity and also increase the life expectancy of a turbocharger because you're not having to work the system as hard to feed air into that engine. So overall, the engine breathes much better than factory with a higher quality component, and of course it looks awesome under the hood of your truck. If you've got any other questions about the product we offer for the 10 to 12 Cummins, we've got fabricated aluminum coolant tanks, some nice engine covers as well as radiator covers, a couple other dress-up components, coolant pipes, brake master cylinder covers, billet caps, etc. Check out our dealer network. If you go to our website, you can go to the dealer tab and see if you have one of our dealers near you who can source this product and install it for you if you'd like. If you've got any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks a lot for watching.